All right, welcome to Sports Debaters, y'all. The Sports Debaters podcast. This is our second debate podcast. We have today Gerald, Ryan, and Blake Dowling, or Alonzo. Blake Alonzo. I'm just calling Blake Alonzo.
What up?
Uh, two really good guests I wanted to get on the podcast because they have different views on a lot of things. But even though their views are different, they both bring facts to their views, and that's what we like to hear. Uh, I knew Blake a couple of years, met him on Sports Talk, got to play basketball with him, met him at Buffalo Wild Wings, real cool dude. Same thing with Gerald, met him in Sports Talk. Me and Gerald actually went to Las Vegas together a couple of years ago. Had a good
Crazy
time with
ass
him.
cab ride.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's all good. But I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves, man.
All right, man. I mean, shit. You go. I'll go first. Uh, everybody, shit. I'm G. Everybody call me G. Everybody know me. I be bullshit most of the time, but most of the time I'm like clowning and shit. But yeah, man, y'all know who I am. I'm active. I'm
That's what's
active.
up. Yeah, he acted like little baby. That's what he said. That shit like little baby in the streets. Like I'm active
I'm
in the
active
streets.
with my flag.
Yeah. Also, I see fly eagles fly. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep, yep.
I see the right hat. So what's up, Mr. Blake? Tell us about yourself.
I'm Blake, Black from Lafayette, Louisiana. Die-hard Eagles fan. Everybody know that. I
Hell
rep
yeah.
hard. I rep hard.
Yo, one thing I gotta say, one thing I gotta put, I do not dislike Blake. I know people thinking that
Oh no,
because
no,
we
no.
disagree. I met Blake in Hooters. Blake cool with my
Okay.
homies.
Yep.
I do not dislike Blake. Blake cool. We just disagree sometimes. But
Yeah,
even the other day, me and Blake was agreeing. I forgot what it was. They had a post. Me and Blake was agreeing on. So me and Blake don't always disagree, and it's definitely no ill intent. Like ain't nobody dislike each other. Nah, it ain't nothing like that. We disagree sometimes, but if y'all look at some posts, we do agree. I can't remember which post it was. It was the other day. But me and
Yeah.
Blake agreed the whole time on that. And on
probably with
what you
the,
say.
y'all probably agree when that dude Barry had posted something.
Hey, that's the new super troll though. That's the new super troll, man.
Yeah, man.
He does a great job, man.
All right, we're gonna jump right in.
That's really a real person.
Yeah, we didn't. I don't know who that is,
I
man.
don't know who that person is, man. We put him on post approval, so next time, we'll try to screen out what post he gets put out. But
Yeah. So he on the list with Ed and Quan.
Yeah.
that's exactly what the message said on it too. It said them three.
Damn, that's bad company to have, dog.
Hey, but we're gonna jump right into the first topic. We're gonna start football. We just want to ask
Yeah.
y'all the two teams. What two teams y'all got making it to the Super Bowl? Blake, I want to hear from you first.
All right. AFC side. I
Blake?
got. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
AFC side. Gotta stay with the Chiefs.
Okay.
They didn't lose much at all. And NFC, I gotta go with it. I'd say San Fran again with a sleeper. I think the sleeper gonna be on the AFC, the Ravens. Not really a sleeper, but the Ravens.
Yeah. All right, it's my turn.
Well, I'm gonna just say something in the middle first. Well, my unbiased pick would be Kansas City and San Francisco rematch. You know, that's that I believe that was the best two teams last year, and they proved it. My bias answer, of course, I'm going Green Bay.
Right, that's the serious bias right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And for the AFC, man, I might have to go Kansas City.
Right.
Okay, I just don't see nobody stopping that offense, man.
That's a safe pick. It's a safe pick.
Facts.
And who you got? Who you got, Gerald?
Man, in accordance with y'all, I'm thinking Kansas City, like you say, that offense so potent, man. That offense potent as hell, and I don't see nobody slowing them down enough. Or I don't see another team being able to score enough to outpace them. Because even if you stop them, bro, you gotta the idea thinking that somebody gonna hold Kansas City to at least 21 points. I don't see it. So I got Kansas City coming out the AFC, and on the NFC, I'm thinking Frisco coming out, but it's about to pain me to say this.
Oh, you about to pick the
Tampa
Saints.
Bay.
He about to pick the
Tampa
Saints.
Bay.
He about to pick
You
the
already
Saints,
know.
man.
You already know. My
Oh, the
dark horse
Saints.
is the Saints.
Oh my
But
God.
listen to why. Listen to why though. I hate
I'm glad you said it and not me.
I hate the Saints, and I hate all the. I don't hate the Saints. I hate their fans. Because in Lafayette, after they won that one fucking fixed Super Bowl, everybody became Who That Nation, and not every year we got to hear that bullshit about his day year. I hate the Saints fans, but I'm thinking that the team gonna rally around Drew Brees and the controversy about his stance on the anthem, and plus this his last year. So I'm thinking the team gonna actually rally around him, and their defense got better, and they added the receiver. They added the receiver from Frisco, so they got another weapon. You know what I'm
Emmanuel
saying?
Sanders.
Emmanuel
They added
Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders. Yeah, that was big. That was a big addition because that gives them another threat on the outside to opposite of Mike Thomas, and Emmanuel Sanders can still stretch the field, so that gave them another weapon. So I'm thinking that they're gonna actually rally around Drew Brees and make a run. Now I ain't saying that they're coming out, but unfortunately, it wouldn't surprise me if they use that as a rally with his stance on the anthem and it being his last season. That the Saints will end up in the Super Bowl, but fuck, I'm not. They gonna lose. I'm definitely not saying the Saints winning. I'll be damned if I say the Saints win a Super Bowl. You ain't never gonna get me to say that shit. Hell no.
So you saying that even if they get there, they won't win it? And it sounds like the way you describe the Saints sound like they the new Cowboy fans. If they saying we gonna win it every year, and you know they hyping it up.
Nah, in Louisiana, bro. I'm telling you, man. In Louisiana, it's terrible, bro. Especially where I'm at. Especially where I'm at in Lafayette.
Hey, I
Especially
believe
where
you,
I'm at in
G.
Lafayette, dog.
Gee, I believe because when I first moved to Louisiana, when I would go to Walmart, they did not have no Saints gear. They had all Cowboys gear.
Bro, let's be honest.
That's crazy.
Bro, let's be honest. Before the Saints won the Super Bowl, Louisiana was probably 20% Saints fans, and then they had 40% Cowboys fans and 40% 49ers fans.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
Oh, I didn't know it was Niners. Oh,
that's the three teams. That's the three teams.
Laugh at the Saints, dog. Nobody was really. I probably know like 5 people that were Saints fans before the Super Bowl. When they won the Super Bowl, the state became 90% Saints fans, and then you got to remember the Niners had done fell off by then, so they had done took all their flags. One of my partners, Niners fan, that nigga stopped running when they became some trash. But the people didn't fuck with the Saints. People used to laugh at the Saints from them Billy Joe Tollivers, Billy Joe Aback, all them dumb-ass days they had, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never cheered for the Saints. Hell no. Fuck the Saints.
Me either.
Hey, Little Wayne said the same thing. Little Wayne was a Packers fan, and he said he was on the show. I think was it like 106 Park or something like that.
Nah, Michael and Jamel. He was with Michael and Jamel.
And he said, "Ain't no Saints fan." He said, "No Saints fans is real Saints fans."
No,
that's crazy. I didn't know it was like that.
Adopted. Nah, man. I'm telling you, bro. Like coming up, it was 40% Cowboys, 40% 49ers, and probably 10% Saints, dog. Nobody.
I gotta throw this out there. I gotta throw this for Blake for you, G. I want to hear from both of y'all on this though. What about the dark horse of Tampa Bay? And the only reason I say this is because for money purposes, as far as the league would probably like to see Tom Brady prove to Bill Belichick that he can win. They got the team stacked up. All of this do you think that's a possibility that they can surprise everybody? You know, win a lot. I know it's hard for you as a Patriots fan, but do you think that there's a possibility they can surprise everybody, win a lot of games? And I'll start with you, Blake. What do you think? Do you think like you know the roster: Mike Evans, Gronk, everybody.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
think it's possible that they can put up a lot of points and make this happen?
they're gonna make the playoffs. My thing is,
Yeah.
I think they got to gel even
Yeah.
without a real off season.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can lose 3 quick games right out the gate,
Okay.
Facts. Continuity is big, man.
but they
But
can
you
win.
bring
They can win 8 straight at the end once they get it together.
but they're gonna have to pile up wins early to still be in contention.
Right.
They're gonna have to get wins early.
Brady
Because
versus Breeze, first game of the year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
how many wins do you think they're gonna get? Are we talking over 10 wins? Are we talking like 12, 13 wins? Like, what do you predict for the Tampa Bay?
11-5.
Okay. What about you, G?
man, the biggest thing, bro, you could have all the weapons in the world, but the offensive line was terrible last year. I know they drafted a lineman in the first round and they made a few picks, but with no true they meeting up, but with no true off season and camp, they normally would have been in camp by now.
Mm-hmm.
And breaking in a new quarterback, it's not a new system, but a new quarterback and getting familiar with your targets. Man,
Right.
and I'm still. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna still be rooting for Brady, but man, I could.
But do you really need to get familiar with Mike Evans? You got to get familiar with, Godwin. Like these are killers.
They
Man.
are, but then, bro, you
10-6.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 10-6 or 9-7. I mean, the defense still questionable. That offensive line plays a huge part, man. Because you got to remember, Brady old as shit. And it's not like James. I know James was immobile. It's not like James. I wouldn't consider James a dual threat quarterback. But he definitely was more mobile than Brady. Brady a savage like that.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And then you still have, and even with those weapons, man, you still have to have familiarity. You get what I'm saying? You got to know their favorite, you got to get accustomed to their favorite routes. Get timing down. Timing is a big thing because you got to think Brady never played with explosive receivers like that since Moss. So a lot of the West Coast, a lot of the short passing, timing routes, you get what I'm saying? It was a lot of face up drops and get the ball out your hand. Well, with explosive players like that, they're going to take more shots down the field. So you still have to be able to get that continuity down, man. Even with the weapons, you get what I'm saying, it still have to match. You could give somebody all the ingredients, but that don't mean that they're going to cook it right. That taste ain't going to be you get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I still just question that offensive line and the defense. I mean, they going to score, but with no true offseason and the timing and I know they working now, but throwing against air not the same as throwing against defense, bro. You get what I'm saying? So I'm more on the July tip. I'm more like 10-6, 9-7. Now the thing is, the question is, because I think the Saints gonna win the NFC South. The question is, are 2 teams going to come out the NFC South?
Right.
I'm not sure about that.
I honestly think 3
I
teams.
got 2 teams. Oh, go ahead, July.
I
honestly got 3 teams coming out the NFC South. I think both the wild card spots is going to be taken up by the NFC South. I got the Saints winning the division. I got Atlanta, and I got Tampa Bay getting the 2 wild card spots. I think Seattle going to fall off. Our division got worse because Minnesota, I don't even know if Dalvin Cook going to be back, and they traded Stephon Diggs.
You want to get paid, and they lost the phone.
But they added Jeffrey Jefferson.
Man, we not worried. Green Bay, we're going to win that division going 11-5 this year.
So it sounds like you expect the Packers to win handily, Minnesota to fall off, and the NFC to fall off altogether. Like only one team coming out the NFC East.
Eagles. This is the wild card winners. Eagles.
The Cowboys aren't a problem. I'm an Eagles fan, but I at least understand they just added Lamb. Dak is gonna really want to prove himself.
Nothing was wrong with the Cowboys offense last year.
Nothing.
So you added Lamb, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they are a threat. Like they could be a wild card, and now you knocking out one of the maybe the Falcons.
Okay. I'm gonna meet you halfway. Either the Eagles or the Cowboys gonna make the playoffs, but not both of them.
Only one team coming from the NFC East. Right now, I'm probably leaning towards the Cowboys. I'm probably
So
leaning towards the Cowboys.
let me ask Blake. Blake, let me ask you this: as far as the AFC, because we covered like dark horses. We talked about New Orleans. We talked about the Saints. So on the AFC side, there are a couple dark horses that aren't Baltimore. As far as we saw that the Buffalo Bills just added another great wide receiver from
Stephon
Minnesota.
Diggs.
Stephon
From
Diggs.
Minnesota. So and
Yeah.
that defense is real. Like we saw Brady struggle with that defense.
Yes.
So
I don't believe in Josh Allen though.
you don't?
I like
I
him.
don't believe.
I like
in
him.
Josh
I
Allen.
kind of believe in him. I kind of
I
feel
like
like
him.
I don't believe it at
Like
all.
honestly speaking, some way somehow, I still got us winning the AFC East.
I like Josh Allen.
I can see that.
I
but-
believe Josh Allen over Mitchell Trubisky though. If that's saying right.
Hey, but they damn near the same player.
Exactly.
But Josh
He can
Allen
run,
gonna
though.
use it- Josh Allen gonna use his athleticism more. Mitch
Exactly.
Trubisky can actually run.
Oh yeah, he
He can
can.
actually run.
Okay.
It's just that he just suck and he don't really use it as much because I think he's trying to prove that he's a pocket passer. But I'm
Well,
not
if
sold
you-
on Josh Allen or Sam Darnold as far as for that division goes.
Okay,
Sam
well, if you look at
Sam Darnold's been taking L since they beat him up at the YMCA and nobody did him nothing.
hey man, hey, he took an L from Mono. He took an L from Mono. He was
That man
out
took
for
an L from Mono, and they told him he was some trash at the YMCA, and he got beat up for trying to
I
defend
saw that.
himself, and nobody helped him. Come on, man.
Okay.
If he was a legit New York Jet, you cannot get touched in New York, man. They beat this man up
Yeah.
at the YMCA
Right.
and
Even-
they told him he was some trash.
Even Mark Sanchez wasn't being touched in New York.
Yeah,
He
man,
was on magazine
touch
covers and
Sanchez.
everything.
So if we look at the AFC landscape, right? If you look at the AFC landscape and you have the Chiefs and Baltimore at the top, if you don't believe in the Bills and you don't believe in the Jets, who do you believe? Do you believe in the Broncos? Do you believe there's anybody out of the AFC? There's got to be one team in the AFC that might possibly
The
win
Colts.
some games.
The Colts are sleeper. The Colts are sleeper. Because I believe Phillip Rivers. I believe Phillip Rivers is a better quarterback than Brissett. But they also added pieces and they have a real good offensive line. I wanted to pick the Texans, but man, with them losing Hop,
Yeah,
No.
I don't know. Because to me, I thought the Texans was going to run away with the AFC South, but them losing
should
Hop,
have. Right.
yeah, and then they don't have a proven number one receiver, and then it's tough, man.
They got my boy.
I believe in the head coach too. I believe in Frank Wright because he came from the Eagles and we actually missed him. I remember when he left. It seemed like I think we had it had like an Italian name, D'Antonio or whatever our QB coach was. We promoted him and he couldn't do the job. And then Andrew Luck started winning more games. So I was like, wow, this coach is actually pretty good. So you might be right about the Colts as far as them surprising people.
What about Pittsburgh? What are we expecting of Pittsburgh? We get Ben back. Will Juju be able to prove that he a true number one? Or
Nope.
what we expecting from Pittsburgh?
8-8.
James Conner
Him as a running back. James Conner. I don't know if I believe in James Conner to keep up the load because I like the tight end. I like that Vance McDonald tight end, but I just don't know about the running back.
I mean,
I like the Chargers too.
It's hard for me to count Pittsburgh out because I think Tomlin one of the elite coaches. Like I think Tomlin a coach where even if you don't think he an elite coach, his players believe in him. And that's one of the biggest things if you can get your players to buy in. Like his players buy in. Like you can tell that they genuinely love playing for Mike Tomlin. And if your players will buy in, they'll run through a wall for you if they believe in you. They're gonna try to run through a wall for you if they believe in you. My only thing is that division. I think
they're gonna win the division.
Baltimore winning the division.
Oh, yeah, Baltimore.
But I can see Pittsburgh being Pittsburgh being a wild card. I can see two teams coming out of that division.
Well, so Blake mentioned the Chargers. Do you like the Chargers as well? Or what do you think about the Chargers?
Who me is on me.
G, what do you think as far as let me ask Blake. Blake, why do you like the Chargers? What is it about the Chargers that you like?
That defense nasty.
Definitely.
Okay. Do you think they can get all the Keenan Allen?
That's the best duo.
Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, they nasty.
Facts.
Mike Williams a dog. Mike Williams a dog.
Derwin James a dog. And
And
I
who's
believe
your quarterback?
that's the biggest question mark.
Will
Do you
Mike
believe
Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod.
I
Tyrod
think
good,
I
man.
think Tyrod gonna start, but eventually they're gonna do him like how they did Baker Mayfield, man.
Exactly.
You think they,
They're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna
Not if
start
he-
Tyrod.
If he winning, no, I don't. Tyrod the dog. I like Tyrod.
Man,
So you
Tyrod
believe in him? You think he can win some games?
He can win them.
Together?
He can win them 10 games.
I think
He ain't gonna make it the
based
whole
on what the
season,
running
Blake.
game do. I think
He ain't gonna
Tyrod not a bad quarterback. I think Tyrod he a game manager. But
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be based on what they running game do. They running game pretty good, even though they lost Melvin Gordon. It wouldn't really have lost because when Eckler was balling, Melvin Gordon was like, "Oh shit,
I gotta come back."
Melvin Gordon was like, "Hey, y'all don't worry about that money I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to come back and play. Don't even worry about the money." Like the dude on
Eckler
BT used to say, "Don't worry about the money, player."
Facts. Like, hey, Eckler surprised me though. He is a feisty. I thought he was a sprole type of guy, but he actually is more of a. He can run between the tackles.
Between the tackles. And I was the same way. I was like, "Oh man, he more like a
Too
third
small.
down back."
Right.
The dude definitely gained my respect. And Tyrod Taylor, he not gonna lose you the game, but I don't know if he could win you the game. I don't know if Tyrod could consistently come through for 300 yards a game and get you over the top. Now he has been successful. He was successful in Buffalo. You know?
Yep, they made the playoffs.
Yeah, they made the playoffs. But
Because he had a nasty defense.
Like Josh Allen.
That's something the Chargers have. The Chargers, bro, that was one of the topics, the best duo in the NFL defense. I think it's Ingram and Bosa by far.
Yeah.
And then you add in Derwin James to that? I don't even think it's close.
Right. They are
stacked. So I can see the Chargers.
But before we move on to the next topic, the Chargers are the only team in NFL history to have the best offense and best defense and miss the playoffs.
How do you do that? You know what I'm saying? How do you do that?
That's mind blowing.
Best offense this year.
That's mind blowing.
Offense this year.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like that Chargers coach, but actually, I have a friend who knows him personally. He's actually in the group. George Azide, who's in the group, he sold him some TVs like at a Best Buy one time, and he spoke to that dude. And so people think that he's like not black supportive, and also he actually is. He's just scared he has to choose his battles. But actually, as far as you know what I'm saying, but as far as intelligence, he can call games. Like he's not going to be the same coach as, Marty Schottenheimer or all these people who were coaches in the past that lost. They always lost to the Patriots. They always lost to the Patriots. When they had Penny Thomason and Rivers and Antonio Gates, it was like the Patriots' little brother. Like they never beat them. So now that they're gone, it might be a chance.
Still stick in my head to this day. LT looking like Darth Vader on the sideline. You got Phillip Rivers. Playing on a torn ACL or a torn meniscus.
Yeah.
LT had an injury, and this motherfucker is sitting down with his jacket on, with his dark visor, just chilling. It's like, dog, you could go try Phillip Rivers out there limping, and your ass sitting on the sideline like, man, what time this game get over? It's cold as a motherfucker out here.
Hey, Jay Cutler did the same thing against us.
Oh yeah, he was on a bike. He was on the exercise bike. Hey, but somebody did the lights out dance, and that made Sean Merriman so mad. He was doing the lights out. Who did the Patriots? It was even a
Vince Wilfork.
Will Ford, he started doing the lights out, and
Vince Wilfork did the lights out dance, and LT got in his feelings.
He was in the conference at the time, man. He was like,
all right, y'all. All right, let's go ahead and move to this next topic, man. I'm really interested in this next topic because I seen both of y'all had different views on this, and I'm gonna start with you first on this one, Gerald. When it comes to LeBron and Kyrie Irving, LeBron says, let's play the games. Kyrie Irving saying for all kind of different reasons they shouldn't play. Right. Now, obviously, I'm on LeBron's side on this part. I don't
Okay.
know where Reason stand at, but I want to hear where you stand at, Gerald, and I want to hear where Blake stand at.
For one, like I think LeBron been playing it like cool because he don't want to speak out against Kyrie or nothing. Because we never heard a comment from LeBron in probably about like 3 weeks, and it's not like he ever came out and spoke against him. But okay, this is my stance. I'm more on LeBron's side to play. Now I'm not gonna disrespect Kyrie and call him names or nothing, but I look at it like this. I just feel like it's an insult to us to say that we can't do two things at once. You get what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's an insult to say that we'd be so distracted by a 3-hour basketball game that all of a sudden we forget about what we've seen constantly on TV and social media and social injustices. Like, I feel like it's an insult because I feel like that's like saying that you walk and chew gum at the same time. Now, I'll take it back. Even during the civil rights movement, Arthur Ashe, Kareem, Ali, they all still participated in their sport while fighting for change and the betterment for our people. Even when Ali went to jail, when he came out, he was on the same tip before. None of them stopped playing the game. You get what I'm saying? And then another thing at this point, I feel like, all right, we've done all the marching, the protesting. Now it's time for the people that works with, within the court systems, within the laws, people that's what they actually do to start getting the legislations passed. Like, I feel like, I'm all for our people, like, we definitely don't want to forget what happened with George, not just George, like the chick that got shot with the
Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and Ahmaud Arbery. Yeah, all recent.
Bro, I mean, George Floyd's situation put a magnifying glass on it, but bro, this shit been going on forever, bro. Tamir, last year, Philando Castro, the dude told him that he had a gun and he was gonna give it to him, and they still shot him. And then I don't know if y'all know, the fucking cop got off last week. It was
I saw that.
And the thing, not to veer off too much from the topic, but another thing that we got to get the legislations passed, that we can't just keep we can't keep allowing them to take our life, but giving us money to be like, well, look, it goes away. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, but every time somebody get killed like that, like somebody black, even white folks that get killed by the cops, they don't get a conviction, but then they win the civil suit and they pay them a bunch of millions. But that's not helping. But I think at the same time, the athletes, if y'all play, that's giving y'all the platform. You get what I'm saying, to speak up after especially the stars, the Kyries, the LeBrons,
right?
The Russell Westbrooks, the James Harden, because the camera's always going to be in their face, and then that's the stars always do the interviews afterwards. So that's giving you a platform to reach so many people. You get what I'm saying? But we're not going to forget. I'm not going to watch a basketball game for 3 hours and be like, oh yeah, fuck.
Everything's good.
LeBron winning the championship about to solve social injustices and racism. No, we know that. We know that's not gonna happen, bro. You get what I'm saying? If the forefathers were able to do it, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. I just don't see how it's a distraction. Like,
it sounds like right now that from the Kyrie's camp, because initially there was a story where they said Kyrie wants everybody to start their own league, but actually the Brooklyn Net players got really angry at that story, saying, okay, now the media is trying to paint Kyrie in a negative light because he didn't say nothing like that. So they're saying now that Kyrie is formulating a plan, trying to figure out what his demands are going to be, things like that. So Blake, what do you think about as far as where Kyrie stands, that things are so bad that maybe if all black athletes didn't play, we have some kind of power by doing that?
That's exactly what I think should happen. It should all stand down. Like, that would make it even bigger. Like,
okay,
if they if they
Criticism of
playing,
Kyrie. Criticism of
if they playing, of course, we know the league 75% black folks. I mean, white people watching, they favorite player is black. They don't watch.
Facts.
If they don't watch, if they not playing, then what? They not cheering for us. That's the only time they cheer for us is when we playing a sport. So we stand down. That's big. That's huge in my opinion.
Okay, what do you think about people that are criticizing Kyrie? Because at first it was like Kendrick Perkins came out calling him a bird brain, and he apologized because it got a little disrespectful. So he ended up he backed it down. He apologized. But what do you think about? Because it's not just Kendrick Perkins. It's Shannon Sharp. Kendrick and Perkins and Shannon Sharp almost got the same opinions about everything. LeBron too.
Yeah.
But Skip Bayless even seems to be kind of against it. Stephen A. Smith even seems so. It seems almost like the media don't like Kyrie right now. So what do you think about that?
They don't like him because, of course, he got different views. Like he's different in every aspect of the word. He's different. But like, dude be out there. Like if you follow his social media, the whole Standing Rock, he part Indian. He was out there with them people when they was spraying poison out the sky.
So the pipeline?
Yeah, the pipeline.
Yeah, I remember.
He was
Is
out
that
there.
The Sioux Falls?
Yeah.
I run that pipeline.
Yeah, he was out there. Like, dude is behind us 100%.
Do you think he's misunderstood? Because I know with the flat Earth, they almost labeled him kind of like eccentric or kind of, you know how people talk, right? So he said flat Earth, that made him kind of a butt of a joke, So now when he's saying something more serious, they want to bring up the flat Earth again.
Of course.
And
like I said, he different.
What do you think about it, G? Go ahead, G.
I was kind of going to piggy off what Blake said. My thing is like, all right, cool. If we stand down, I think that it hurts their voice even more because now think about if we want to speak on distractions, all right? If they don't use the platform of the NBA, the interviews, to speak every time they got a camera in front of their face, if we rely on social media, it's definitely the message definitely gonna be lost. Think about it. First and foremost, you're not gonna as many followers as they have not gonna be as much as tune in to watch TV. And think about this, not to be on some silly shit, but just imagine you're scrolling down the Instagram, you see somebody trying to have a powerful post, and then the next time right under there,
somebody twerking. Somebody twerking on the next post.
Yeah, I feel that.
After that, you got
I feel that.
I Cherokee the ass twerking.
Exactly. And that's how my timeline looks. And that's what I mean. What do you think to the fact that people say the NBA is better than the NFL as far as they were already letting players express themselves?
They're the best league. And then another thing is, even with the owners losing money, we got to understand that all the NBA players not making top tier money. You know, so the players going to go broke before the owners. The owners going to lose money,
right?
But not going to go broke compared to you got dudes on rookie contracts, two-way people that's on two-way contracts with the D League, the NBA. Not everybody making superstar money.
Exactly.
And if they're not making money, another thing that we're not taking into account, which if you look at it, it'd be like it ain't about the money, but the owners can rip the CBA up. The owners can tear the CBA up for them bars not playing. And then that'll set the next 10 years back as far as making money because the owner's going to have all the power. And at the same time, like they say, we could use the money to help fund the organizations that's fighting against all the inequalities, the racism, and all the social injustices that we experiencing.
Austin Rivers said that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I don't want to bash it. Like, we all clown and joke, but I don't want to bash black men, because at the end of the day, we all fighting. You know, we all want better for our people.
Exactly.
The end game is we all want our people to be on an even playing field. Exactly. We just disagree on how we see it.
Right.
I think that not playing gonna hurt more than it's gonna help, because the owners gonna still be rich at the end of the day. The players gonna go broke before the owners.
Well, how could not playing work? Like, if let's say that everybody agrees with Kyrie, right? Just to have a united front. Like, so if you want everybody on lockstep and we do not play, all black players don't play, that is extremely powerful. That will shut everything down, right? What is the next step? Like, how do you make that work? Or what does that look like? What does it turn into? And this is a question for anybody, any of the three. But does anybody have an idea of like what a good next step would be if we're not playing and now we have leverage? What do we do?
I think the owner for every team in that state should put money towards a black neighborhood.
Okay, so rebuild the community?
Rebuild the community, build a school in that community, a STEM academy, something.
Now, is the NBA owners to blame for police brutality?
No, but put some money into that community.
I mean, on a whole nother level, kind of. Well, I mean, I guess it's still in part what we talking about. Being that it's election time, it's election time, and pretty much everything kind of tied into the league. I said this: if they don't want to pay us reparations, cool. But if y'all not going, because first and foremost, any ethnicity that experienced anything as tragic and big, from the Holocaust to the Japanese, they all got paid reparations.
They all got money.
Some still are. Some actually still are legally getting paid. Right.
Oh yeah.
How far they
Jews still getting paid.
We never got out for
Jewish people.
So if y'all don't want to give us reparations, I say y'all give all the contracts, all the government contracts, as far as building goals, catering, everything. Give our people all the contracts and let us make the money. Since y'all don't want to give us nothing, we used to working hard anyway.
Okay. So you're creating an economic footprint. Basically, you're letting black entrepreneurs have more wealth that way.
That's what I was getting.
That way families can pass down their business and things like that.
Annotations, because there's black owned all over. If y'all don't want to give us, I would just let us earn it. Y'all give us all the contracts. And I'm talking about from construction to in offices, lawyers, for legislation down to sanitation. Give us the contract. Let us earn it then. That's a whole nother conversation. I know, kind of steering from where we at, but
that's actually a good idea though, because I was thinking like, what would you do? Like, what will Kyrie say next? So that's a pretty good. I like that economic thought, because one thing, here's a statistic I heard the other day that really tripped me out. Is that we see that the Asian market, and I love Asian people, but they are very industrious as far as they came to the country, they start a business, and they do better than Americans. Sometimes like they have
loans.
They have a lot of industries locked up as far as like laundry and things like that.
Well, loans.
This statistic tripped me out. Less than, and out of all the prison industrial complex, there's less than 1% of Asian people in jail. So that almost means like you can't arrest, like if you arrest Asian people or you do police brutality, it might hurt the stock market. Like that's actually a powerful thing of having that much economy relying on a certain demographic, to where they actually say when they purchase or when they vote for a politician, they go to a politician with incentives. So they go to a politician with $50 million saying, hey, we won't vote for you unless you do these things for Asian people. So black people don't have the money. We don't have the money to even start that right now. So do you think that if we have more economic power, that maybe we'll experience a little bit more respect as far as the country as a whole?
Have the money, or we don't have the continuity. I think that's most of the biggest thing. We don't have the continuity or the structure to do it, because so many times we feel like we got to be in competition with one another, or we feel like the next black man not supposed to have more than us.
And
that's
another thing,
big within the black community, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
one more thing.
You get what I'm saying? Because we
Go
definitely
ahead,
have
Black.
resources, but we got to be able to function together and be on the same page and not have that jealous spirit or that hate towards the next man because he got more than you.
Right, and that might be kind of what we're saying with Perk and Kyrie right now. Is like we can't have unity. But go ahead, Blake. I think you had an idea on that.
Yeah, just throwing this out. So majority of black men are in jail, right?
A lot of
You give them a loan to start a business. Most likely, that black man not going to jail. You create an opportunity. You're not going to lock up. You won't lock up somebody that still owe you money if you give him that loan.
For real, because then how can that can be locked up?
Exactly.
This money all be on the NBA though, because we see that the NFL is just as big as the league, just as much money, and they obviously going to probably deal with the kneeling, and they're going to deal with all of this, since COVID is if COVID slows down. So say you don't think that they should be responsible.
They restrict their players a lot from saying so much, and right now, like the conversation you having recent, none of them coaches coming out and saying they're in continuity with their players seem genuine. It's coming off like they just don't want to be on the wrong side of the media and have to answer questions like, well, why are you not supporting Black Lives Matter, or why are you not supporting your players? This shit don't feel genuine at all, to the point that with them saying that they all gonna be together to take a knee, I hope that they come up with something else. I don't even want to see people take a knee no more.
Right.
Because if it's not genuine, it's
trendy. It's trendy. It's safe. It's almost unsafe to not say it right now. Well, I mean, how do you feel about it, July? Do you feel like we should be seeing money from NBA and NFL, or do you think just the NBA can handle it, or whatever's going
on? To be honest, I say just the NBA can handle it. NFL, man, I'm with G, man. I'm not buying all this taking a knee stuff now when it's convenient because it's convenient for everybody now. But it wasn't when it wasn't convenient. It was I'm just not buying all to taking a knee stuff right now.
I feel like still hit them in the pockets. Even if I don't like you, the color of your money is still green.
Yeah.
Right. So why not just go ahead and y'all pay this bill? We don't need to hear a word from you.
Hit them where it hurt.
Exactly. We don't need to hear a word from you. Pay this bill, and then that way you're not going to be penalized. If an NBA owner, there's like 20, it's almost the same amount of teams, like 29 some teams. So if an NBA owner puts up $250 million, because these are billionaires we talk about, these are oil tycoons. So if you put up $250 million as an NBA owner, if you really are doing all this fake love and we love black people and all this stuff so hard as an NFL owner, just put up the money and don't say a word. Just put up the money.
And then the NFL benefit from, even though it's the most successful league, the popular league, the more money-making league, they benefit from all the star players not being identifiable. Like, TJ Watt, to me, is like a all-pro top-tier player. But if that ball would walk in the mall in Foot Locker when I was there,
I think that's because they wear a helmet.
Exactly.
So they're not easily identifiable as basketball players. If you take the top 20 basketball players, I think people could look at a picture of them and know who they are. If you take the top 20 NFL players, I think everybody would only be able to identify probably the top 10.
But you know what? That kind of builds your case, G, as far as you saying players should play. Because if you think about it, like think about how after a big game, a big win, Steph Curry sitting at a press conference. Yeah, everybody loves Steph Curry. I mean, this is America's hero, sweetheart. He's talking about George Floyd. He's talking about Ahmaud Arbery in a press conference. That is a huge platform with NBA cameras on you.
And then even if they don't play, even if they be like, all right, the NBA not gonna play, the NFL expected to start on time. So if they go, it's still gonna be a distraction. Now with COVID and everything that's going on, well, we ain't been hearing too much as far as the NFL with them dudes testing positive. College has, but
Yeah,
the
Bucks just had
still planning on having a season.
and
So,
Zeke's little party got him fucked up or whatever.
oh yeah, Zeke, Zeke.
His little party, yeah, he had a throw party.
Zeke and Rudy Gobert in the same category now.
I could see Zeke I could see Zeke at the bar tongue kissing a white girl that has COVID. Like, fuck it, it is what it is.
Yeah, he got a COVID stripper. Zeke had a COVID stripper.
Oh, don't say that, bro. Don't say that, bro. You're gonna jinx me, man. You're gonna jinx me.
But no, as far as, but I see there's a lot of good points being made. I think I really do wish the best for Kyrie for the fact that he took a leadership position. So instead of us, because I initially wanted to criticize him as well. So I will take a wait and see approach. I think that's fair. Like G said, you don't want to knock another black man down, especially if he's passionate for the people. But I hope that my biggest hope is that he does come up with a good plan or has enough people around him, because it don't have to be him as long as he's the face. If somebody else can come up with a good plan.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I say it's time the people that's in that expertise of getting legislations and laws passed, this is their moment now. Like, we done did all the, not necessarily, well, when I say we, I mean our people, we done did the groundwork with all the marching, burning shit down to let them know that we serious. Now it's time to get the laws and the legislations passed, because if that don't happen, then all the protesting, marching, and burning shit down was for nothing. Now it's time to get in them rooms, lock them doors, and get the laws that we need.
Negotiation. Right. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and transition to the last topic, but I like the fact that we kind of went deep on that one. But I'm going to transition to the last topic because this is a player, we talk about a lot of young superstar players. You see the Lucas and the Trae Youngs, his story, how they were traded for each other and all this stuff. But there's a player out there that resembles Kobe a little bit. He had a really great Eastern Conference playoffs for the Celtics when Kyrie was out with a nasal fracture and everything like that. And he dunked on Bron nasty. You know what I'm saying? So
my guy,
it's Jayson Tatum.
Let's keep it 100.
he was
my guy.
Yeah.
That boy decided to have surgery and miss the biggest game 7. You're not there to cheer your team on. Kyrie didn't want them youngins to go further without him.
Right.
But that's topic. That's another topic.
But that is a big accomplishment for Jayson Tatum. I would say Jaylen Brown had a good series as well.
Marcus Smart.
Terry Rozier. So, but when we look at Tatum, he looks very polished. He doesn't look like he has to put up, 30 shots a game. He ain't a Westbrook. He ain't really crazy with it. But is he as good defensively? Is he as good offensively? So my question is this. Is Jayson Tatum right now a top 10 player in the league? Why or why not? And I'm going to start with Blake.
That's my guy. So
and I know there's a little bias, but at least, tell us what you like.
Bias too, because
okay.
I got some facts behind what I'm going to be spitting. So
elaborate.
Fair enough.
I would say top 10, if not 12, 15-ish.
Okay, on the cusp of it.
Yep, right there. So 23.6 points, 7 rebounds, 2.9 assists.
Okay.
He ranks 3rd in the NBA in defense plus minus. 3rd. In his third year. He leads the NBA in shooting percentage in the fourth quarter.
I did not know that. Wow, that's crazy.
Yep. Also, he's 14 in three-pointers in the league. 17 in three-point percentage. Shooting right at 40% from 3. top point in defense, win shares, defensive win shares, he's 8th in the league. Steals per game, he's 20th. So
is there anything that he can't do in your eyes? Like, because you see the Celtics sometimes have trouble scoring. That's one thing we've always talked about. Like, they'll be winning the game, they'll be blowing somebody out, and then they go like 5 minutes and it seems like nobody's scoring. And so do you think there's something that Tatum can't do? What is his weakness? What do you want to see? What do you think Tatum's biggest hole in this game right now?
It was, for me, finishing at the rim.
Okay.
Contact.
Kind of too skinny?
Not too skinny. He would shy away from contact.
Okay.
Like, if you want to get there, you're going to get there. You're going to draw a foul. Get to the line. I think he started doing that later this season. That's why he put up 41 against the Lakers. He put up 34 against the Clippers, locking down Kawhi in the fourth quarter.
He doesn't seem like he's scared of another start. So, G, what do you think? Do you think top 10? He said no. So, okay, why do you think if he is or is not? You think no, he's not?
When we say top 10, we talking about
active players.
Talking about like just this season and always like
upcoming season.
Oh, so okay. Oh, well, all right. I mean, my thing is who you take out.
That's a hard question.
Hey, that's a good point. So I'm gonna start naming some players. G.
That's what I was about to say. Let's start naming players.
I'm gonna start from the top. Kevin Durant,
LeBron.
Right.
Who we gonna do? Name them off?
LeBron.
Yeah, we know Kevin and LeBron. He's not over neither of them.
Curry.
I said Giannis. Curry.
No. Yeah, those are top 4 for sure.
Kawhi.
No, he can't be over Kawhi.
Kawhi the best two-way player in the league.
Exactly.
Anthony Davis.
No, he's not.
James Harden.
No.
Russell Westbrook.
No.
That's I don't know. Actually, hold on.
If I'm starting a team, I'm taking Jayson Tatum over Westbrook.
Yeah, let's talk about Westbrook, man, because Westbrook he's just as good as he is bad. Like he can win you games.
I feel like we still got names that we could have named full Russ.
Other than Westbrook. Okay, go ahead.
I'm about to name Damian Leonard.
I'm about to say
I think he's over.
What about Klay Thompson?
No.
Ooh, that's tough.
Ooh,
They almost the same person.
No.
Klay, well, hold on. Let's talk about this. But Klay Thompson
can score off the dribble.
Klay Thompson can score the most without dribbles.
Yeah. Klay scored. And Klay could go off the dribble, too. It's just that
Klay not running the offense either.
No. But I wouldn't want Tatum to run point. I would only want him as your two-way guy. So, and Klay, I feel like Klay Thompson and Tatum are almost the same guy. If you really think about it, they almost the same dude.
I don't think so. They both two-way players, but they're not the same dude. Not at all.
I'm taking over.
I mean, Klay's a better shooter, but Tatum can do a little bit more off the dribble.
I'm taking Klay over Jayson for the simple fact that I know. We know Klay is the number 2 behind Steph.
Right.
But even with Jayson being the man on the Celtics, I still feel like a lot of times Jaylen Brown lead that team too.
Do you think Tatum is a real number 1, or does he kind of have a spirit of a number like a Paul George, like a number 2?
That system.
That's yet to be determined, but I can't say so that. I mean, because he's still young. Obviously, it's only year 3. But what I'm saying is, it's not like every night he's the best player for the Celtics.
Hey, I think Jaylen Brown is the emotional leader of that team.
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I think he's
smart.
Marcus Smart.
Well, Smart too. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Smart is kind of he has like an art test.
I think Smart the leader. Period. I think he like the leader. Period. I'd say And that's not a bad thing, though. You get what I'm saying? That's not a bad thing. That's definitely not a knock on Jayson Tatum. He only in his third year. You get what I'm saying?
I was about to say you don't want a third year player leading your team.
Exactly.
It's not like Jayson Tatum said he don't want to be a leader like Kevin Durant. It's not like he said that.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. He threw that out there.
Well, that's two different things.
But
So
how many names we ran off? Because we said
so
that
when Kyrie, Kevin Durant, LeBron,
Giannis,
Curry.
Kawhi.
That's obviously the first five.
Then Kawhi, AD. Then I said Harden, Westbrook, and Dame. So that's another. That's
and
nine.
he said Clay. What about Paul George? Is Paul George better than Tatum? I kind of think he might be. Okay, if you look at Paul George last year, I know it sounds crazy because he's always hurt, right? He's always hurt. But before he got hurt, they were talking about he was ahead of Giannis and Harden for the MVP for like months at a time. He was winning game winning shots.
I'm taking Paul George over Jayson Tatum.
I think me too.
What about Luka?
No.
I think it's tough. They about even.
Luka on one side of the ball. I'm not taking Luka.
That's true.
I'm not taking Luka.
But Luka can run point.
Yeah, but he still don't play. He still don't play.
Do you take Luka over Tatum?
30, he might get you 30, but he's gonna give up 30 on the other end.
Right, that's true.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Jayson top 10. I think he's right outside though. Now, if you ask him his career trajectory, I say within the next 5 years, he gonna be a top 5 player.
Wait up. Is Jayson Tatum better than Kemba Walker right now?
Yeah, I say so. I think.
Man,
Kemba's a dog. Kemba's a dog
when it comes to around the same thing.
Yeah, Kemba's a dog when it comes to clutch situations. We saw that in college, right? So we know that he loves tough situations, but his talent has been hidden in Charlotte for so long that he hasn't had a chance to show anything in the playoffs as far as being a Celtic. So I think personally it will be Tatum being the leader. Kemba will do big things at big moments, but I think they'll, like Brad Stevens will draw plays up for Tatum.
Yes.
What do you think?
I'm not ready to put Tatum in the top 10. I'm not looking up no stats or nothing. That's just like off the eye test and going off of what we know. I'm not ready to put top 10. But I don't think I think within the next 5 years, I think he's definitely gonna be in the top 10. Will he ever be MVP candidate? Will Jayson Tatum ever be arguably the best player in the NBA?
I think yes, but I think Luka went to MVP before Tatum does because it's all about offense nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the voting goes,
and he had a green light. Like Luka can shoot.
Exactly. He's like Harden almost.
Yeah, I mean,
Luka can shoot every time down court.
Exactly.
You can back the corner with him, but yeah,
it's Luka's team. Like he's just playing games out there.
Yeah, Luka definitely have a ultimate green. Well, I think Devin Booker have the ultimate green light.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but he's not playing for nothing.
I put Jayson Tatum on the same level as Bradley Beal, man. That's fair. So
I didn't even think about Bill.
Second tier players.
Yeah, like I say top 15 through 20. That's why I got him at top 15 through 20.
That's about how I feel.
I think I could agree with that.
But he's young, you get what I'm saying?
But Bradley Beal not making no all defensive teams either. Jayson Tatum was on pace to be second team all defense at his position.
Bill was putting up like 50-point games.
Yeah, Bill got
to carry it off the floor every night.
Yeah, in today's NBA.
But he not playing for nothing either.
Our offense is valued more. Like y'all just said. Y'all said Curry better than Jayson Tatum. Because his offensive ability is so great.
Exactly.
Like even though we're not supposed to do this, but offense is valued more than defense.
Fact.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why James Harden make more than Patrick Beverly.
So if you were drafted right now, if you were drafting a team right now and you had to choose to start your franchise with either Bill or Tatum and they the same age, everything, who would you draft?
Jayson Tatum.
Same age, I don't think it's close. I'm going with Bill. If they're the same age,
Are you
I'm going
serious?
with Bill. Oh,
His
yeah.
offensive skill set so much superior. I think his offense is superior to Jayson Tatum.
But did we see Bradley Beal do what Jayson Tatum doing in his third year?
No, not in his third year.
Remember,
He's putting up
they're
a lot of points.
the same age. They're the same age.
John Wall was still considered the best player in the Wizards. Jayson Tatum, he got a chance to grow because Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward was injured. Now, if John Wall wouldn't have been there when Bradley Beal first came up, I mean, we seen what kind of player Bill was in Florida. Was he drafted overall number 3 just like Tatum?
I think so. I mean, he's balling now that nobody's in with the.
Yeah, that not at Wall at the picture. You see his full repertoire.
Because he running point guard now.
Yeah.
Even though I know I get what Blake's saying that they're not in contention for nothing, but you still got to go out there and perform. You still got to go out there and play the game. And then, like I say, it's still arguable. I kind of forgot about Kemba Walker, and like you say, can we truly say that Jayson Tatum just straight up better than Kemba? Because with Kemba, Jalen, and Tatum, all that, you get what I'm saying? I look at it like Jayson Tatum could take nights off the offensive side because he ain't got to carry that load. He could be like, all right, I'm going to focus just on defense because I know Kemba could go give me 28 and Jaylen Brown could go give me like 21. Marcus Smart could probably chip in 17. You know what I'm saying? You just got them nights where it's like, all right, I can focus. Tonight, not my night. I'm 1 of 7 right now. Let me just focus more on defense because I ain't got to carry the offensive load. That's another thing.
Yeah, I think Boston got 3 players averaging 20 points.
Yep, and Gordon Hayward averaging 17. So,
and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I mean, Curry has the same thing when KD was there. You know, like sometimes Clay would go off and save the day. Sometimes
makes your job easier compared to somebody that's like, shit, I got to get it on both sides and maintain the pace. You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
but Curry didn't lose no clout when KD took over. When KD took over, nobody looked at Curry negative.
No.
And
they still got the same amount of shots up.
Didn't Curry drop like 30 in the first half? Game 3?
He did. Yeah, he went off.
Yeah, he went off and dropped like 30 in the first half. That's the luxury of having great teammates. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because Clay do it too. Clay sometimes when they on an elimination game, it seems like those are Clay games. Like if it's like game 6 or 7, it seems like Clay's always saving them. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll hit 11 threes or something like that.
That just happened one time, bro.
But no, he did. He had there's another elimination game where he had another big game. I'd have to go do my research. But there was another game. It was an elimination game. I don't know if it was Houston or who it was, but Clay went off again. And then even before the ACL, he was going off. Yeah.
If you talk about that game 6 game against Houston, the one that Chris Paul missed, yeah, Clay, he did go off.
And then before the ACL, he did the same thing. Like, I mean, if obviously he got hurt and he had to exit the game, but it seemed as if it was happening again. You know, like give Clay the ball, he's hot, and nobody. I mean, when he gets hot, does anybody get hotter than Clay, other than maybe Booker?
Booker.
But as far as heating up, like Booker scored 70 points.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago, but that was in a blowout loss. Like I don't value those games. It was in a blowout loss.
Man,
I feel you on that.
When some of them balls get in the groove, you just gotta hope that they miss, dog. The ball for a reason. I'm still tripping off Blake background. That shit looks CGI.
Hey,
I'm like, this nigga look like he on a movie set.
That's a picture, man. It's painted.
I think Skype does that because it did it tomorrow.
But to respond like that, I think to respond to your question, I think the person who is the most unstoppable player when they get hot is LeBron, bro. Bro,
I agree with that.
when this dude get hot, man, I'm like, man, there's no way to stop him. Is like, I remember when Miller was at the Knicks one year, and LeBron came to town, and I think that was that time where Phil Jackson had talked that shit to LeBron, and something could call
Said he got a posse or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's posse.
LeBron went off and they was playing spin the bottle on the sideline or some shit like that.
Yeah, when LeBron start hitting threes, there's nothing you can do.
Hey, how niggas be? Hey, I'm a Bron fan. How niggas be letting Bron hit him with that weak ass hezzy when he goes?
Yes, man.
Just look down at the ball.
Like my nigga, he's setting that shit up. And niggas.
Hey, Clyde Drexler used to kill niggas looking down, dribbling all the way down court.
While dribbling, right?
Clyde Drexler, man, they ain't never picked his head up to dribble.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man.
I think we got a good
Bron, bro.
Yeah,
when Bron hitting jumpers, you might as well
call
it.
Right. Facts. Right. I agree with that, but I still think I think it's still close between Clay, man, because we've seen this dude score. I forgot how many it was in the one quarter.
37.
And that's ridiculous. And he didn't have a lot of dribbles. And I mean, that's just stupid. To me, it's like I don't know, being more locked in as far as elite shooting. We only see that from Clay and Steph. As far as just you could catch and shoot and it don't matter. Like, you don't even got to dribble. So that's a weird. People, they heat up different.
The ball hit some shit that you be like, man, about to ain't no way he ain't hitting that. The next thing you know, like, man, what the
But hey, I think we had a good show. What you think? You think the time frame, everything that we got? What do you think, July?
Man, that was one of my favorite topics. When y'all got into the NFL and NBA with Kyrie, and that was one of my favorite topics we did so far, man. Y'all really educated me a lot on those kind of topics, man. So I appreciate y'all for that.
Absolutely, and I will say, Kendrick Perkins, he really got emotional. And I know people in the group kind of was clowning him too as well, but he brought up some real serious stuff as far as
talking about this with his kids.
Exactly. He said that like it was like less than 2 miles from his house. That boy got found.
Hung. Yeah.
So that's got to be. I mean, even if you think he's playing for the cameras or crocodile tears, that's a real concern. That's a real. If you live in an all-white area, and you think that it's a lot of tension going on, people are angry. No one's really having a conversation. So I will say, I just hope things work out. That's all I'm saying.
The South still behind in times, man.
I'm still the South.
We still behind in times, bro.
I posted a comment, Mississippi just abolished slavery in 2013.
Yeah.
That was kind of late. He was a little late on that one.
2013.
Yeah, so I think things are changing. The fact that all these owners are, like you said, doing the fake love, even if it's fake love, at least a conversation is being had. Maybe that's the seed of opportunity where a real tangible change does happen later. But does anybody have any final thoughts or anything before we wrap this whole thing up? I feel like we did have a really good show.
Who that is? Oh, love? Who that is? That's Africa, Blake?
Africa, man. Africa.
Oh, yeah, I see, dog.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of people, man. I seen Antonio Brown. He was talking mad. He was talking about I want to get Antonio Brown on the show, bro. Mike.
Oh yeah, he wanted to say Hopkins was the best. Yeah, he wanted to say DeAndre Hopkins is the biggest acquisition outside of Tom Brady to a team. So the fact that I guess Kyler Murray can now throw the ball to.
I seen that comment.
Right. So
we gotta go over. We gotta talk about Coop again because he was talking mad noise too, man. He was saying that the last debate was half decent or something.
Less than average.
Oh, that dude!
Man.
I saw the comment. Y'all gotta get him on. That dude always. Y'all definitely gotta get him on. That dude always got something to say, man. Y'all definitely get him on.
I'm trying to get Wesley on, but he running from me, bro. I said, you ain't gonna debate me. You gonna debate somebody else. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
You gotta
what we need to do is we need to get a KD fan to go against.
Wesley, because Cooper, that Cooper dude can't stand LeBron. You gotta get him and Wesley.
There he goes. That's a matchup.
You gotta get him and Wesley.
That's
You get the ultimate LeBron fan and the anti-LeBron fan.
exactly.
That man literally sees every
and when y'all
Bron
do that,
post.
y'all gotta make every topic LeBron related, and y'all just sit back and let him go at it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna start yelling. I'm gonna have to have my earphones on low.
Hey, that man literally see every Bron post, bro. Every last one of them.
The only time y'all gonna have
Shout out
to
Wesley Tate, man.
the only time y'all might have to interject is if the boss are talking about fighting one another. Cause that's gonna be pure comedy, bro.
We won't let it get that crazy. You see that Stephen A. and that big dude, they always be acting like something's gonna happen. Hey, Stephen A., you would get folded up like a lawn chair by an ex-NFL player. What you talking about?
You talking about Woody? You talking about Woody?
Yeah, Damien Woody.
Stephen A. be raising his voice like he really gonna do something.
Hey, man, I just so happened I was on YouTube. I was taking a shit and I was watching and I came across when T.O. told Stephen A. that Max act more black than him. Man, that boy pissed off, boy. Man,
that was pretty disrespectful.
Yeah, that's
tripping, man.
Hey,
yeah.
That was super disrespectful, dog. Man, it was. I ain't never seen Stephen A. more pissed off before, bro. Ball was hot.
Yeah, that was
fish grease. That nigga was mad, boy.
Right. Hey, but Stephen A. the one who had T.O. back when Skip Bayless used to
and you know, I'm looking at Stephen A. looking at him like through the screen like, boy, you a bitch ass nigga. All that
he used to take up for that man.
The whole time he had his back.
Yep, used to take up for that man.
and then T.O. was laughing. He's like, nah, man, I'm just saying, boss, I ain't never that mad before. That guy, rightfully so, you know what I'm saying? You don't tell another black man that not like that, dog.
Nah. You say that personally on a phone call or something.
Millions of viewers, dog. That was raw.
But let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. I feel like we definitely went over 30 minutes. We're trying to keep it kind of blocked up. I want to thank both of y'all, man, for coming on the show. Appreciate y'all, man.
Nah, man, appreciate y'all, man. It's all love.
Man, we gotta link up, man.
Absolutely.
When Kenny come to the flats.
I was supposed to come this weekend, but I had to stay, so I ain't gonna come until my mom and daddy 30th anniversary, 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, it's good. I'm out of work until the 4th. You know, I'm still recovering.
Take it easy, man.
All right. Quote unquote. Hey, but I'm gonna have to GPS, man, because I don't know that area, man.
Yeah, I'm ready to cough on the Reese's.
Give them that COVID cough, right?
I'm ready for somebody to say all lives matter around me.
Crazy, man. All right, man. Hey, everybody, man, y'all be safe out there. And until next time, man, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Sports Debaters.
All right,
y'all. Don't forget about August.
Oh yeah, I ain't forget. I definitely ain't forget. All right, y'all.
All right, y'all be cool.